Well, eNCA's Aldrin Sampear is outside Luthuli House for us and joins us live to talk to us about whether there's been any movement outside Luthuli House. Aldrin, any word from senior ANC figures about the future of Nene?
Well, nothing yet at this point. And remember, even yesterday we tried to push the ANC spokesperson, Pule to give us some sort of comment on this discussion as well as this noise around Nene's fate, and he did not want to give in and only said that when there is an update on what he calls current affairs matters, they will inform us as the media when that update is available and when they believe that the ANC should be commenting on those current affairs matters. And what we know, of course, is one of those current affairs matters is Nene's future in Treasury, whether he goes and whether he stays. And as you've indicated, that there is an expectation that the President could make an announcement with regards to this issue relating to Nene's fate and future inside Treasury, and what would the response be from the ANC. Also taking into consideration that over the weekend you had the top 6 officials who had met. Did they at all discuss this issue around Nene, and didn't Nene make that phone call, as reported by News 24, to President Cyril Ramaphosa before the meeting, before that meeting of the top 6, and was that discussed? And what was the final conclusion of the ANC's top 6 with regards to that matter? That are some of these are some of the many questions that people have been asking and looking forward to, and whether the ANC will be able to respond to these questions. You've indicated early on as well that Ace Magashule is out of the country. I understand that he's in Cuba. So who would be the person then who responds on behalf of the ANC from an official level with regards to these issues as well as these critical questions that have been asked?
Indeed, Aldrin, actually, you mentioned the Secretary General within the context, of course, of the ANC national office bearers, what we colloquially call the top 6. We understand that they went away for the weekend to discuss, I guess, serious matters that have to do with the country. Any word on what could have really come out of that meeting, and whether or not Nene may have been the subject matter?
Well, nothing that we have. All that Pule Mabe would say yesterday is that what the ANC preoccupied itself with as part of its resolution coming out of the 54th conference, the national conference, was that to foster unity within the party, especially leading up to the elections, which of course would be very important. But here's the thing about this Nene issue, is that how would the top 6 officials have dealt with this issue, considering as well what had happened before with the likes of Pravin Gordhan. You remember that fallout that we saw when Jacob Zuma was still the president of the country, and Cyril Ramaphosa was the deputy as well as the deputy of the ANC, and it was Cyril Ramaphosa as well as Gwede Mantashe, the then Secretary General of the ANC, who then came out and said that we are against this decision that has been taken by the president at the time, Cyril Ramaphosa, Jacob Zuma, to remove Pravin Gordhan as the Minister of Finance. At this point, what we know is that there are divisions within the ANC with regards to Nene's future and whether he should stay as the Treasury, as a Treasury official or as the head of Treasury. Does this divisions at all play out within the top 6, as we've seen before during the previous term when President Jacob Zuma was the president of the ANC and the president of the country? Those are some of the critical issues. And as I indicated yesterday as well, is that, you know, when there's a lack of communication, as we know in South African politics, with that lack of communication, it leaves the door open for speculation as well as disinformation.
All right, Aldrin Sampear, thank you very much for that update. He's outside Luthuli House watching for any movement that may come, or any whispers around the future of the Finance Minister Nene.